What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family, bringing you guys the latest update on the Dallas Cowboys. Today is a slow day, though. No
big news.
Major updates on the Cowboys. Fiance kind of covered everything the last few days, and we did have some major news earlier this week. So give us just a second while we make sure to check our audio, but make sure to say hello, drop a hi in the chat.
Guys, don't forget, hit that thumbs up. As always. Oh, audio not good?
Major updates. Yeah, I'm echoing. Fiance kind of covered everything the last few days, and we did have some.
Hold on.
That's right.
Let me try this.
Make sure to say hello, drop a hi in the chat.
Guys, don't forget, hit that thumbs up.
Yeah, you're good.
Mine's good. On your side. We still have to get that.
Let me see. So, hello. Yeah,
No, it's not working yet. Hold on. I have to redo it.
Alright, so let's see. Wrong one.
I know. Double checking that. See if it goes.
Hello. Nope. So, but
what's up, Space Cowboy in the house?
17 Cowboys abroad. Thank you for joining us here. Give us just a second. We got some minor audio problems we're working on.
Right now, I want to say to Cowboys abroad, especially, thank you, bro.
That's right. The shirt.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, guys! You have to go check it out on Twitter.
Yes.
Cowboys abroad.
We're gonna retweet
his
that.
My Cowboys family.
Actually, he posted
shirt.
it on through the Facebook of My
was it
Cowboys
on
family.
Facebook?
So
Okay.
I hope you don't mind if we retweet that. I wanted to get your permission first.
So, and actually,
Take care,
let
baby.
us know if it's okay if we
Hello?
can use the picture up here on our stream too, if that's okay. So
Yeah.
let me see. Hello.
Let me see. Let me do it
Let's
again.
see. Oh my goodness, guys! You have to go check it out on Twitter. Sounds like
Yeah, I just unplugged yours then. Yeah, to use one.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll just go one mic for tonight. So,
All right, well, one mic in it, guys.
just
There,
in case.
yeah.
So,
Should
yeah,
be
guys,
good
we're
now.
gonna have to roll with one mic tonight. So thank you for joining us here. Let
Much
me
love
see.
to
But
everybody.
yeah, let us know, Cowboys abroad, if it's all right with you, if we can use that picture, because it was really cool to see it, and it still blows my mind that someone is actually wearing it and buying it and stuff like that, and all the way in Okinawa. So it's just so
Yeah,
cool.
it's all
so
across
thank
the
you,
world.
thank you again, Cowboys abroad.
Yes,
and
thank you so much,
for
bro.
all the support and hanging out. And
Yeah, I know everybody else
all
too.
that,
And speaking of up above, right there, guys, you
That's
see
right.
that Cowboys abroad is in first place. All right, through Patreon.
Number one.
Last week he bought the shirt, so you're doing a great job on helping us out here on this channel, and we appreciate it so much. Yeah, and all
So
you guys.
and to everyone else
thank
on
you.
the leaderboard, including Slim Shady with the biggest drop ever
200.
took it away.
Mind-blowing.
Thank you, Slim, and thank you to everyone else up here. We're gonna go through the list in just a minute here. So he said that, posted on both Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, I thought I
Cool.
saw it on Twitter.
I didn't see it on
but guys,
Twitter. Okay.
Today was a very busy day.
Yeah.
Fridays are tough days for us, but we're definitely gonna check it out and retweet it. Give me a second. So, let me see. And Cowboys Abroad said, of course, you can use it however you want. So thank you, man. It just because
Awesome.
I
Thank
just
you.
love seeing you rep it. I just want to make sure. You definitely get that recognition too, because that was really cool. And Rack City in the house. Rack City, thank
Rack
you for
City.
joining us. Thanks for being here.
Julian in the house
Yeah,
too.
he said, I think Jimmy G is worth the money for San Francisco. They're a playoff team competing with the Los Angeles Rams for the NFC Western Division. So
The key is he's an unproven commodity still. I mean, look, he's done great when he's had his opportunity. He's done great as a backup in New England. He's done a great job in the second half of the season. Teams haven't, similarly to Dak Prescott, have not really had a chance to game plan for him. And when they do, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Now, some of that is the reason why of Dak's decline from last year to this year, but it's not as big as people think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say about Jimmy Garoppolo, if he completes the contract and plays out those 5 years, I think it's 5 years. So $137.5 million. He will earn more in 5 years than Tom Brady has earned in his first 14 NFL seasons. That's crazy.
I mean, I want to touch on that in a second real quick.
There's a reason for that,
Thank
though.
you for joining us here.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Subscribe up to fifth quarter, guys.
Yes, not just that, but you got to post one. You got to post at least one. Post the juiciest one, because I would love to see what got you so upset that's got you dropping all kinds of bombs all over the place. And I know there's been, a lot of more Dez controversy coming out.
We had a great discussion again on Space Cowboy 17, guys. Sub up to him, sub up to Cowboys Legend 27, and of course sub up to Dallas Cowboys Football News as well. But and fifth quarter Cowboys. But it was just as we do, it gets heated in the Cowboy Nation about certain topics. I'm not as heated about it as LL or as DJ are about this topic. I see both issues of both sides. I understand it, and I also agree and disagree both sides. So I'm just like most fans, I don't have a complete answer for that. So that's something we can't help.
Well, fifth quarter Cowboys DJ said, I've really had it. Let me see. I'm really one with fake Cowboy fans that only pop up to complain when we're losing and pointing out one problem. problems.
That's
so
multiple problems.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When it comes to football and when it comes to losing, there's usually a main problem or one central problem, which for us, I think, is just the lack of good management. I think that's a problem that's hindered the Cowboys for a while. But outside of that, we have other problems like players not executing and just, bad moves in free agency and just other things overall that all contribute to it. It's a team effort when you lose, just like it's a team effort when you win.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, if you look at Dez and his, not that great of a season, whatever the reasons are, not being a team player, complaining about the knee, that's just
the
one.
routes they had him run, or just overall
some of it's
offensively,
coaching.
Dak.
But my point is, I'm not even to make this about Dez. I'm saying that's one
just using him as an
problem.
example,
Right,
real
that's
quick.
one problem. Dez Bryant, he's the easy example on the field. Exactly. So is Dak Prescott. But according to Next Generation, Dak, and this is what Law Nation had mentioned. I want to make sure I give the proper shout out to that. But Law Nation did post this, and again, and Next Generation, NFL Next Gen, said that Dak Prescott completed 45.8% of his tight window throws in 2017. That ranked first in the NFL. So he was the best when it came to making that tight pass into the corner, or when the defenders are right up there in press coverage, under pressure in some situations. There's a lot of definitions to that, but I'm just saying that and that's why it's subjective, and that's why you can't really count it as an NFL stat. That's why somebody else does it outside of the NFL. But they do like the Next Generation. Basically, they do like those stats you really don't measure. They not really have a stat box for them. So Dak Prescott's number one on that category. Now he needs to improve his accuracy. We saw that in the Derek in the David Carr throw off there in that Super Bowl experience player, NFL experience thing. But I think if you have him on the run moving around, I think he becomes more deadly. And that, I think, something that people don't want to talk about and have not talked about as much recently and ignore. And even though it comes from Linehan, and I hate Linehan, I want him cut and fired. But we know he's going to be there for at least one more year. He's definitely on the hot seat. So he's going to try to do everything possible to succeed.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, we want the Cowboys to succeed.
Right.
So Rack City, Cheeto changed his number to 24. So for all of you,
we lost 33.
33 jerseys, I guess now you are extra special. So
we're just going to represent Tony Dorsett.
That's right. And then Cowboys Abroad said, I think the main problem is a lack of depth. So
yes.
That's
that plays into the
main
management
problem, because again, that comes to the management says one thing because they say, we have this next man up mentality, but then in reality, when you see it in effect, the next man up
I think some of that is from bad management, getting bad players. When you go through free agency, not making good trades or not making any trades in some cases, or very minor, like I'm trying to say not even depth, because it's more like practice squad depth, practice squad players you're making trades for out there. That is not going to cut it. You see, I'm not saying you have to go blockbuster trades. I'm just saying you have to be smart and make the right moves with, maybe take a risk here, pay a guy $2 million as depth, as a defensive end or defensive lineman of some sort. Now, we're paying Tyrone Crawford like $8 million or $9 million. That's insanity. That's an overpayment, and that's what you want to avoid with both David Irving and DeMarcus Lawrence. That's why you have to pay more this year and franchise tag one and second round tender to the other. And that's just the facts.
And we've kind of already talked about that, and it seems like, I think the general consensus is, if you're going to do something like that, tag DeMarcus Lawrence and put the second round tender on David Irving. But I want to move to Julian Smith and fifth quarter Cowboys. So Julian said Dak Prescott should have better receivers like Jarvis Landry or Randall Cobb.
Who said that?
And then
Julian?
fifth quarter Cowboys said, screw numbers, man. Tom Brady also had great numbers, but did he win the Super Bowl? The business is about, can you win? There's many QBs with great numbers that can't get the job done. And I'm going to use a great example, Tony freaking Romo. Tony Romo, is arguably an amazing, great Hall of Famer quarterback, and he has 2 playoff wins in his entire career. Those are facts, and those are some numbers for you. And then Julian, as much as I want to say, he needs better receivers, this is where my problem comes in and my confusion. Where is the miscommunication? Where is the lack of connection with Dak and Dez? Because that's the one thing I can't figure out. I know it's Dez with some injuries and Dak with still some inexperience, but what I want to know is genuinely, where is that disconnect? Because we know Dak can do it, and we know Dez can do it, right? I mean, Dak has proven himself, at least with Cole Beasley, and, we know he can do it. 2016 showed that, but there was obviously, like I said, the lack of connection to Dez, and we know Dez can do it. We've seen him do it before. So my question is, what is it between both of them that's not clicking? So if you guys, I guess think, or have a guess or something, let me know, because I think that it is just a little bit of inexperience and Dez's injuries combined with them trying to get a feel for each other, which is why I'm a little more hopeful that Dez is going to have a better year and Dak as well. But I'm worried because is it something that just can't be overcome? I don't know. So let me stop ranting. Go ahead.
No. I mean,
comments here. A hater. What's up? So.
Yeah, what's up, hater? I mean, as far as I say, I don't think we should get Jarvis Landry or Randall Cobb. I think we need to. Look, if we stay with the only way I say we do go make a play for a big player is if you have to use Dez in a trade of some sort. Mm-hmm. And let's just be real, that's not going to happen. Okay, Jerry Jones not planning on doing that right now. ESPN reported that their big bold prediction that Dez will be cut by the end of the training of the off season. I just can't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I see Jerry Jones keeping him. Restructuring him. I'm just being real. I'm not saying I want this or not. This is the way it's going to be. He's probably going to be restructured probably. You can't really cut him. You got to trade him if you want to make a move. But I say, right now Dez has one more year of Dez Bryant and giving him a chance. We had 2 years of bobbling. All right. 1 year of those were drops, which is this past year. More drops when they hit him right in the hand. He had other drops that they're not going to count as drops by the stats. Yeah. But that hit his fingertips, hit his hand. Some of them he didn't run his route fully. So whatever the reason may be, because he didn't tell the trainers that he had tendonitis, that's still on Dez. So he has to be a better team player when it comes to that. He has to be a better team player when it comes to reconstructing restructuring. Now, I'm sorry, his. I don't think he should take a pay cut because he worked for that money. But my point is that he needs to definitely restructure. I don't know, and help out the Cowboys as much as possible. That's all you can do right now. And pay cut is not something that a logical person is going to do. So we'll have to see what happens and that plays out. But right now, I'm seeing Dez on the team for 2018. Whether I like it or not, well, I don't fully like it. But I also want to see what he can do. I would hate to see him go to another team and then dominate because I think he can still do that. So
I agree.
He's got to be honest with the team, and he's hurt. He's got to tell them.
Now, Cowboys Abroad said, I didn't like anybody wearing Dorsett's number anyway. I'm glad Awuzie changed. Now I might buy his jersey. I already
have them at 24, so
let me see. I'm a hater. I said, what's up? And then fifth quarter Cowboys said, let me see. Regular season wins and postseason wins are what counts. Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. Win when it matters. Throwing out Dak's numbers is giving him a pass. It's like people saying Dak didn't play good, but his numbers said this. You kind of took it away from me. So screw that, man. Win games. I'm so mad. It's ridiculous. So here is the thing. I think with those numbers, what they show is that Dak can do it. I think that's what makes me more upset because those numbers show that Dak has the ability to get the job done. But again, close but no cigar. Critical mistakes in key moments, critical mistakes between Dak, sometimes by the receivers, sometimes by the offensive line. Sometimes,
but he's a rookie. He's inexperienced. He's second year. I'm just saying.
No, I know. So that's why those numbers make me hopeful that he can progress to be a better quarterback. We just have to, I guess, figure it out how we, and not just that, but how we use him. But the rest of the team as well needs to figure out how to play with him. A lot of, I think DJ, you were the one that said that Dez played so well with Tony Romo because they were like, they had that connection and they played together for so long. So, overall the team, I would say, is a little bit used to playing with Romo. And I think now we're starting to see kind of, I guess, the next phase of that. Everyone expected him in 2016. That team was built for Romo. And then all of a sudden it had to be built for Dak. This year was the first year that they were trying to really figure out what a Dak team is. So I'm more confident that this upcoming year is going to be a little better.
And that's the thing. We have to think in a positive way as Cowboy fans as much as possible. I know we're real negative fans. We're as fans, we are the most negative. But the truth is that we need to try to we're
just trying to stay grounded in reality.
Get grounded in reality, but also see the explanation, the meaning of what Dak Prescott offense, a Dak friendly offense means, and what we're hearing is that it is going to be him rolling. I think this is something that's so overlooked, I should say, and undervalued in the sense that that's something that we haven't really seen enough of from Dak Prescott, rolling him out of the pocket and having him on either through play action or just a design out of the pocket rollout play and have your line shift over and then help him cover like on the left side or on the right side of the field. I think you actually extend time for him, make more room for him. I think our offensive line is mobile enough to do that. And it depends on this Paul Alexander, the new offensive line coach from the Bengals, how he's going to work this system. But I would like to see that. I would like to see what happens. And Linehan, that's what he said he's going to do. That's what Dak said Linehan's going to try to do to make him more Dak friendly. Not run more, which is unfortunate to me. I want to run more, but all right, we have no control. This is Linehan's last chance, guys. He's fired after this. So that's the first step. So they're not going to really run more. They're not going to really do too many more run pass option plays, which is, I guess, a good thing. It might be a slight uptick on that, but not anything that's going to be major. So his running is going to be maybe 50 to 60 times in a season for Dak Prescott. But you're going to see him rolling out and able to run and not have contact type hits on those rollout kind of out of the pocket type plays. And I think it's going to extend the play. It's going to let the receivers get open. If you can't get separation, eventually you will. You're supposed to, at least the longer the quarterback has to throw. And the fear of Dak running the ball is going to make the linebackers, some of the defensive backs to come back up to the line of scrimmage and lose their man for a moment, which would then free him up and have Dak is very accurate when he's on the run, when he's mobile and running out there using his legs to create time and space for himself and his receivers.
So Rack City said Dez looks like Dez in OTA and training camp, but he doesn't look like that when the season starts.
I agree.
At least this year, he didn't for sure. Then I would have to say this is the first time I looked at him in training camp. So, as far as that, but I was excited. Again, we were saying it early on in our videos, like we were excited about Dez, that we really thought this was going to be the year. So I'm definitely a lot more cautious now, but I'm still optimistic. So Cowboys Abroad said accuracy is in Dak Dez don't click. Roma was a precision QB, I'm assuming, that could put the ball exactly where Dez wanted. Dak can throw us to a spot. Perfect throws aren't his game. So, that's definitely a good, accurate assessment as well. And, and the fact that Tony Romo also just was a gunslinger quarterback. He threw the ball. It was a pass-heavy offense, even though we had great running backs that, pretty much averaged over 1,000 yards a season for the most part, the good years, right? Because we had McFadden and we had Murray and we had
Murray before that, McFadden after.
Yeah.
Then we had
Morris, right? Did Morris ever have 1,000 yards?
No, we had Zeke, and then we had.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean Zeke is the more recent one, anyway. And then fifth quarter, Cowboys said Cowboys Abroad, fake Cowboys fan giving Dez so much crap, like everyone else was so perfect. They were all terrible last year. So
and again, I think that's where I don't know who's saying that out there.
Fifth quarter Cowboys.
No. I'm saying who's complaining about that.
No,
everybody was bad.
That was
because I agree that everybody out there was on the field had their part to play in being in the losses for the Cowboys. And I'm talking about Jason Witten. He dropped more than ever. He held more than ever. He missed a lot of blocks more than ever.
Yeah, hands down, this was Jason Witten's worst year.
Now,
I have to say.
another guy, Tyron Smith. Yes, he was battling injuries. Excuse or no excuse, battling injuries. Still, he was out there and he was missing blocks. He was holding more. The point is that he played horribly when he was out there at times. Now, most of the time he performed. Most of the time, all these guys performed. Now, Zeke, it's only so much you can. When he came back from that 6-game suspension, he did miss a couple blocks in the passing game, pass blocking for Dak. That hurt us. So I'm just saying, you see all these guys, even with all the production they've had in the field by stats, by the eye test, whatever you want to call it, whether either or. You still see that they were successful and they were still not very good. They were not at the top of their game. So you see each of these guys have a fault to take in this, including Dez Bryant. Because when you don't tell your coaches, that's on you. That's on the player. When you complain and it eventually become a distraction like you did in the Giants game, that's on you. That's not on the coaches. That's not on, I understand the frustration, but you got it. That's the difference. That's what we thought we didn't see anymore. I love the passion. But you got to be smart about using the passion. So, again, all these guys have something to blame. And as we've been saying it the whole damn season before the season started, it's the coaches. The coaches are the ones that are out there running the show. And even though the players are not executing in all phases, and that's all players in some way are messing up on offense, defense. Yeah. Defense is playing lights out, but everybody's messed up. The coaches are not handling it well. They're not coaching up these players right. They're not developing these players properly. And the foundational issue, as I've said on our video here a couple days ago, it's Jerry Jones. It's the management. It's Will McClay's hands being tied in some situations when it comes to certain kind of safe risk, low risk, high value, high reward trades. Okay, low payment in contracts. When it comes to free agent pickups that can really help us at a depth position or at a key spot. And we don't, pull the trigger on it because Jerry Jones is gun shy about it. That's where the problem is. And Will McClay can't force a trade if Jerry Jones is not going to, accept it. So he has to take what he's given. And he's given Stephen Paya, retired. He's given Devontae Moore, was suspended and then fired. And then Nolan Carroll, same thing. I mean, I'm sorry. That's garbage from last year for the most part. And that's a problem that we have in this team. That's one of the major problems on this team. So.
Let me see. So Julian Smith said Des Bryant has to step up now. Fifth Quarter Cowboys said, like Cowboy fans making crazy videos just bashing our players. If you want to talk his decline, that's fine. But to say he was the reason we failed or to say he was 50% of the problem, let me see. I mean, that's too much.
That's
I'm
too
sorry.
much of the
Even the Cleveland Browns, you can't point at one single I can't think of any single team that you can point to one single player being the worst thing. Actually, you know what?
Or even half of the problem.
Yeah, maybe the Giants with what's that lineman, Eric Flowers, right? Or something like that. Flowers. I don't know. It just either way, guys. Like that's the only person I can think of that might be able to share more than the average amount of blame, and even then, still not 50%. Still nowhere near. You can't ever blame it on one player.
Right,
it's a team sport.
Right. It's the most.
So
I mean,
Fred Woods, thank you for joining us here, and then Jack Walker. Yeah, again with Dak. Again, I guess I'm the eternal optimist. I want Dak to succeed. I think he has the ability to succeed. I'm just going to give him the chance to either succeed or fail. That's the thing. It's still too soon to tell.
See, I wish I could compare them to players. You know, like if I want to compare someone who is an example of why we have to franchise tag someone like DeMarcus Lawrence, I'll tell you the reason is Tyrone Crawford. That's an example. You don't want to give a big contract to somebody who's going to not ever really give you a productive season consecutively. Okay, that's what Tyrone Crawford. He had one okay year, and we give him a huge contract. That's why you have the franchise tag for someone like DeMarcus Lawrence, who had a fantastic year, but that's the only year we got to see him not suspended, not injured. So it's on DeMarcus Lawrence. That's the way it works. He's getting $17 million, and we have to take the cap hit this year. That I think is worth it. When it comes to David Irving, you're getting him for $3 million. You know, and I don't think we should get rid of him, but we have to see if he's going to be injury prone with the concussion thing. We got to know, we got to make sure he's not going to be suspended as well. Do something stupid. So these are two guys we have to keep a close eye on. Give them both one more year. And when you think about blame and stuff like that, it's part of these guys, whether it's Zeke putting himself in bad situations, and he was obviously not guilty of what they say he was, even though you have other guys out there making mistakes off the field, but even on the field, it's across the board. It's everyone's to blame, And again, when you have someone, you lose Sean Lee and your team crumbles and collapses, that shows you got to go for somewhere, whether it's in the draft, whether it's through some kind of minimal trade or some kind of free agent. You got to get linebackers. Get
someone somewhere.
Yeah.
So and again, Fifth Quarter Cowboys with your comment, and then thank you so much, Stronger King and Albert Pais. Thank you for joining us. So Fifth Quarter Cowboys and Fred Woods. I kind of want to take your comments and go through them and then actually lead into kind of, I guess, the next section here of our live stream, because I think it might be pretty interesting. So Fifth Quarter Cowboys said Jason Witten and Tyron Smith have been the holding kings, screwing us on big runs. No depth on defense when Sean Lee was out.
Correct.
I can go on for days. And Fred Wood replies, yes, they all underperformed. However, dropping supposed completed passes, fumbling away completed passes, and no effort plays resulting in interceptions is Dez's problem. The lack of effort when his number isn't called. With that, what are the three players on the Cowboys team that need to do the most as far as stepping it up?
No question, quarterback. You have to have the quarterback. The quarterback. Listen,
and let's be real here, because I do think Dez is one of those players that does need to step it up in a major way. Just being the fact that he's our number one wide receiver, we do want to see more. But you can't, like you said, baby, you can't force it to him. Exactly.
So the thing is this: if Dez is off a step or he has tendonitis, he's not telling anybody, then it's on Dez, and he has to, he's hurting the Cowboys.
Supposedly
he's hurting Dez.
Jerry Jones, though, Jerry Jones said that he knew, so he was kind of covering it up. And the thing is, even if he knew, even if a few people knew, the point is that it wasn't
treated right.
It just, I don't know. It just feels perception matters, and it just feels like they handled it wrong. That's all I have to say. So regardless of whether they knew, and obviously, I have to feel like somebody knew. Dez looks bad out there. Someone's going to say, hey, man, what's going on? I don't know. But I just feel like the way it was handled just makes me feel like they were trying to hide it, or he was hiding it, or something is up.
Well, look, either way, my point is three players, Dak, Dez, without question, those two guys have to improve it. And of course, I would say Witten, but really, is he going to improve? He's going to be, he's not on the he's on the decline, so we can't really expect him to improve. He's going to pretty much be like this for another year or two and then retire. I just hope we manage his time away as a starter with some kind of draft pick, with Rico Gathers, if he can stay healthy, if he can be focused, and if he could be out there producing for us. Those are going to be two chances for a receiving tight end to make a splash, to take over the Witten mantle. Okay, so when it comes to another player, and again, I mean, I think
I'm gonna say it, Sean Lee.
Well, he can't help it if he's not injured.
I know he can't help it, but the point is that it's not. I guess it's not stepping up as far as the on the field stuff, but if you have a player that's consistently injured and the next guy up just can't do his job, I mean, again, I guess it's maybe not Sean Lee. It's just that linebacker.
What it is Hitchens.
That needs to be stepped
and it's not.
up.
Hitchens went have to step up, but my point is that the Cowboys need to step up
Again,
to sign
like
Hitchens.
Howard said, we need more depth overall. But I think linebacker is one of those spots. If you don't get someone there, it's going to be one of those things that we're going to be seeing another season that we don't make it in the playoffs.
I mean, look, in the order of these players here, like Roquan Smith, Josh Jackson, Maurice Hurst, and Derwin James, if they were all there at number 19, you know, there was like a question, like a poll going on about who would you take and what order. Mm-hmm. And without question, I agree with the answers, but I would personally take Roquan Smith first. And that's a linebacker. Yeah. And that would be an immediate impact. I mean, if there's even a way he gets down to 16 and he's still there, I say we go for a trade.
I don't see the Cowboys ever
doing it. That would be a mistake, especially if we have the fear of losing Hitchens. Although even if we get Roquan Smith, I still say we keep Hitchens. $6 to $8 million, probably around $7 at most, is what he will cost the Cowboys, and he is worth it. You know, but other ones here, like I would say out of that group after that, I would even say Derwin James would probably be next. But I would like Maurice Hurst, and we can get him probably later on in the draft. Of course, we have the offensive left guard position, which is Will Hernandez. Now is getting first round mentions. So that's scary for us because we were hoping to get him in the second round. Now maybe Isaiah Wynn might be a first round pick as well at left guard. And he could play tackle as well. I don't want to throw in a rookie behind Tyron Smith, though.
In the draft.
Yeah, and I still think we have to re-sign Cooper. I think we have to sign a veteran free agent. And I've named these names already, Pastor or Tobin or Fleming. These guys will play a good backup role to Tyron Smith when he goes down, and we know he will. We got to be real.
I'll share my thoughts on Tyron Smith in a minute, but I want to say hi, Albert Pais, Andrew DeCall. Thank you for joining us here. We got Peanut 310 in the house, Cruzan 26, Stronger King 23. Now let me see. We are definitely going to be as loud as we can, Rack City, at the draft. Again, hopefully I can finally finish getting all the details worked out. But fiance here, 100% will be there. Let me see. Is Noah Brown going to make the team this year? I mean, I'm pretty confident he will. Baby Dez. Yeah, I mean, let me see. Fred Woods, it's open to all players. And then Jack Walker thinks that the offensive line needs to improve and dominate. Bunch of talent. They're the ones that need to step it up. Peanut says that Taco is a player that needs to step it up. And again, as a rookie, it'd be, as a second-year player now, I think that he's starting to get to the point where, we might be able to see him step up this year.
My question is this. When it comes to players you want to truly get rid of, I would stop talking about Dak Prescott. Oh, I mean, and that's he's on the team for at least 1 or 2 more years. So to get your guy, we're gonna keep rolling with him and see what happens in the middle of the next season with Dak. When it comes to Dez, that's the number one guy everybody wants out. I'm still saying you want to look at three guys you really want to look to get out of there somehow through trade, preferably through a trade of some sort, whether we get draft picks or we get players, clear their contracts, and get these new guys out there. Like you guys are talking about Taco. Well, Taco will replace Tyrone Crawford. We need to trade Tyrone Crawford. He's a salary cap eating machine, and a lot of teams. He's probably the hardest one to trade out of all those of these 3 guys I'm going to mention.
He's got a pretty hefty contract and not a lot of numbers to.
Right. So I mean, they will. But I'm telling you, they will. If a team is willing to give up a 5th round pick for him, they might do that, and I think we would be worth it for us because we can then see if Taco is the real deal or not, and we have Tapper back there who could still back him up. So and we're going to still draft maybe a Contavious Street, something like that. That would be a defensive end or defensive tackle that can play and move around on the line that can also play that position. But my point is, I don't think Tyrone Crawford is a need for our team to stay on there. Now, I just want to
get to a few more. I know it just. People, so let me see. Just Fred Wood said, given our current roster, he says number 1 Dez, Dak, and then Byron Jones. That's an interesting.
I like that, especially considering the fact that this is his contract year here. So if he wants to stay on this team, he will be definitely somebody who has to. Because to me, Dez will be probably off this team if he has another year like he had last year. He doesn't tell the coaches about his injury. He runs bad routes. He pulls up on routes. He has like the injury issue. He's not telling them. That's a major thing to me. Hitting him in the hands, dropping it, hitting him in the fingertips, and even though it's not counted as a drop, should have caught it. Those game-changing drops. That interceptions against Denver, interception against Seattle.
That we got that's it's not for the safeties. It's not Chris Richard. We got somebody else that's supposed to be like really good with helping, the defensive backfield, like actually catching the ball. Oh my goodness, guys! Please remind me, guys.
I don't know. I know DeMarcus Ware is supposed to be out there on the defensive line. But that's it.
I'm so bad with names. I'm sorry about that. Don't worry, 5th quarter Cowboys. We know you're not talking about us. When it comes to these
We don't take any. I'm sorry.
When it comes to this dark off season, the real feelings come out, and a lot of the hurt, not just the hurt from this season, but a lot of the years of built up hurt as Cowboy fans, guys.
Especially when the Eagles win it.
Exactly. So it's, it brings out an ugly side, and a lot of people, they do want to find excuses and blame. They want to be able to say, oh, Dez is a problem because if you get rid of Dez, we'll get to the Super Bowl. And realistically speaking, it's not that.
Right. It's not just Dez. It's not just Dak. It's the whole team. And it starts with the team. It starts with coaching. With assembling a team, it starts with Jerry Jones. But I want to get back to what I was saying about Tyrone Crawford being one of the 3 players. Not the ones like you said. I like to step up. That Byron Jones was a good answer for that because he has to. It's going to be a do or die season for him with the star. All right. So it's a do or die for him. Now here's the thing. Tyrone Crawford, we get him out of there, we get Taco in there. And I think it's time for him to get in there and produce. And again, he did okay towards the end of the year, and that's why I want to see him in there. I think he can take up that role. Yeah. And with DeMarcus Ware there to help him develop as well, he's going to be part of the team in some way. So I like that. Then, the second guy, Cole Beasley. He's on the trading block. I'm hearing this for the last 3 or 4 weeks. 80 stings and all, he can take that with him probably. We have Beasley, guys, and that's the key. We're not just trading him
when he's off the team.
I mean, it's horrible to just throw it on him. I'm not saying that, but I'm looking at the money. I'm looking at the talent we have behind him, and the possibility of having Switzer take over is a risk I'm willing to take when it comes to what you're paying Switzer and what you're paying Beasley. Trade Beasley. He's a commodity. Somebody's going to want him out there. You can get a draft pick for him or bundle him with something to get a higher draft pick if you want to move up in the draft. So again, I'm just saying these are viable possibilities and players that we can move because we have backups that are ready to take over that we are building this team on. But we have to go more than just the draft. Trades are important. And this is what I'm talking about. If you get draft picks, I'm down with that. With those kind of trades and building your team the way we did with Herschel Walker and in the 90s Cowboys is the way to go if well coached. And that is, where we are the stick in the craw, basically, however the saying goes. That's where it sucks. Now, I'm going to say this. The third player, T. Will. Now, I always thought we should have kept Bryce Butler over T. Will last season. We signed both of these guys. Bryce Butler to a 1-year contract. We signed T. Will to a 4-year, $4 million
and you know what?
a year
I understand
contract,
because of the
$16
way
million
that
total.
The Cowboys like to run their offense. They like their receivers to block a lot. They like, look at Dez, look at T. Will.
Right.
They like those
good
blocking
blockers.
receivers.
Unfortunately, when Dez Bryant's not able to produce, whether by injury or by having a bad game or whatever it may be, and T. Will has one good game a year, it's not worth keeping him. All right. And again, I wish I could say yes. Dez Bryant.
Oh, we got Dez Bryant 88X.
Woo!
No one said anything about Dez when they were 13-3. If you're talking about last year, again, this is where the regret comes in, guys. I wish we recorded ourselves last year. Not trying to knock it all on Dez, but thank you again, Dez Bryant 88X, for the $10 drop.
Nice. Does that put you up here?
Yeah, I have to check to see.
That's not like somebody else in there, is it? Like, so I get confused. Some people use like this. They have like the same account, so I get confused.
Here, I gotta make sure I'm
all right.
Wrong email.
Sorry guys, I'm going to it. Thank you for the drop, guys.
Seriously,
I was a little sideswiped by that. I was on my little
DJ. So DJ
Crown J.
Dez Bryant love. Let me see. Where does he?
No, he's on the board.
Yeah.
I have to fix it. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, sorry guys. Here, I'll
take
over real quick and read a few of your comments.
LT Metters, the Eagle fan, dropped a big 50 burger on here to try to get that Eagles. I actually brought.
Oh, that's right. That was the down payment for our little bonfire.
Yeah. So he's up in front of you still.
Looking forward to that.
No, I'm not really looking forward to that.
I did throw up the X, and you know what, guys? I want Dez to succeed. No one wants Dez to succeed more than me, and I think he's fully capable of it. Like I said, we need to lock him and Dak because, again, I do think Dak has the potential to do it. Now, what are some of the key factors that I think are going to make a difference this year? The number one is Zeke. That's it. Point blank period. We're going to have Zeke the whole time. We're going to be able to plan for it. We don't have this stupid legal thing hanging over our heads. The Cowboys are going to come into this hard, so to speak. But I think that having Zeke there is going to do what happened with Dez in 2016, where I don't think Dez is ever going to play or have numbers as great as he ever did with Romo. Let's make that clear. But I think that he can have numbers better than 2016, and I think that we're going to see him being used more like we did that year. Again, he had Dak had like 2 really deep touchdowns to Dez. And I like that play where, again, remember when Dez threw it into the end zone? You see like fun plays like that, smart plays like that, where, You're using part creativity, a lot of player talent, and just really smart, conservative, run the ball, offensive playing. I think that's where we're going to see Dez and the rest of the Cowboys shine.
I like what Cowboys Abroad said. Thank you, baby. No, that's good. And what Cowboys Abroad said, Anthony Brown is the other guy. So everyone's saying Dez and Dak, but they're different.
Oh, that's right.
Anthony Brown has to have a step up season 2. I agree with you on that.
But again, here's my question though: was it a sophomore slump, or did he just have a great starting year? And
he's gonna have a bad rest of the year.
Exactly. So exactly. Like, is he just never gonna ever perform, or since we saw him play well before, I'm of the belief that he has the potential. I guess I'm too optimistic when it comes to some of these guys. I want them to succeed. So and if we've seen flashes of it before, I do think that they can do it again. So I think he knows the pressure's on.
Jack Walker said that he just said that Dak is a poor man's Quincy Carter. Hell, you don't know what that is. Trust me, no way. Quincy Carter is a poor man's Quincy Carter. I don't know what to say, but Dak is definitely not that. He's maybe a poor man's Russell Wilson right now. But I will say this: that I like Jack Walker's comment. Top 3 Cowboys that need to improve are Garrett, Linehan, and Rod Marinelli. You couldn't have said that better. But right now they aren't going anywhere. I think Chris Richard is going to really help us. I think that
it's Richard or Richard?
Richard is what I've heard. The way the pronunciation is, I looked it up, so it's Richard.
Yeah, I never want to mispronounce it.
Yeah, so Chris Richard with a K. I think he's going to be a definitely one of the biggest offseason pickups so far is him. He is the big pickup, and he's basically the next in line for defensive coordinator. And he's a coordinator that would be very aggressive. He's going to teach the 3 rookies back there in the defensive backfield, Xavier Woods at safety, and then Cheeto, and then Lewis. You're going to have those. They're going to be playing aggressive, and I think it is more not for Anthony Brown as much for Byron Jones, because Byron Jones. This is his 4th year. This is his contract year. He has to produce. And I think he did great last year. Don't get me wrong. I think he did very good. But I don't
think he did enough to stay on this team.
To be impactful, to have to sign him to what he's going to be, the asking price for him out there, and for the guys that we can draft and develop this year to come in at safety. He could be feasibly someone you can leave. You might have to let go of or not re-sign. And someone like Earl Thomas, well, I'm not saying he's going to leave Seattle yet, but my point is that his contract is up also next year. You might want to do a flip-flop. Okay, Earl Thomas has been in there double the years, but he's a better player than Byron Jones is. So again, it's one of those things. You go for that when it's going to cost you more money or as much money for Earl Thomas as it is for Byron Jones, possibly in the free agent market.
I mean, it's almost.
And I'm not saying that they're comparable. I'm just saying more like per year. It's going to cost about similar prices. I mean, Earl Thomas is going to be a more expensive overall contract.
I agree. Now, Space Cowboy 17 said, "LO, Cam did statistically worse. People aren't talking about him. He had 3 more interceptions and a 59.1 completion percentage. His team was a playoff team."
Exactly.
So, and not only were they a playoff team, but at the end of the day, they're also not the Cowboys. We have to keep in mind always, guys, the Cowboys are, the number 1 team, America's team, all that stuff.
Eyes are on us all the time.
Eyes are on us. We do have a little bit of a target on our backs, and that's not me trying to be dramatic. It's being real. We are the bigger name. More people look to us. More people have eyes on us. And so, we do get judged harsher on that. So, and I think rightfully so. I mean, that's part of the territory with being number 1. So, as we like to want to be. So let me read a few more of your comments here, guys. Let me see. Cowboys Abroad said, Fred Woods, when you're 13-3, what you're doing is working. When we lose, we have to reevaluate everything. So exactly. Mr. Rice said, we have to be real about something even though I don't like the player. We should have never let Marty B go. Should have drafted him. We shouldn't have drafted him, but once he was there, we should have tried to make it work. I'm a hater said that Bortles is better than Dak. Iraq City said RG3 is better than Eli. Cowboys fan Marquis said, MCF, my prediction is Zeke gets 10 rushing touchdowns and 7 receiving touchdowns and wins MVP.
It's hard for a running back to get MVP, but I will say that if anybody can do it, it will be Zeke. And I don't know, I think he'll even have better numbers than that in rushing touchdowns.
So hopefully Zeke is coming hungry. So Fred Woods said, Cowboys Abroad, I'm just saying, if you evaluate the Eagles game film week in and week out, you could wage complaints about many players' performance, and yet they won the Super Bowl.
Right, and you're right, but that's the thing, though. When it came time to get it done, their guys did it, and our guys didn't. Execution on the field, play calling by the coaches, decision making by the coaches, all these things had a part to play in not getting it done. You can't just say it's the players. You can't just say it's the coaches. And you just can't say it's the management. It's all 3 pieces. All 3 pieces have failed last year for the Cowboys. But I think a lot of these players have an upside. I think it was a very rare season last year. I think we're all jumping the gun in how far we're going to drop. I don't think it's going to be that far of a drop. I don't think Dak is going to be a bust. I really don't. I know Jack Walker thinks so. We have a disagreement there, but that's fine. I think that Dak is going to be fine. I think that Dez will be, if he's not injured and if he's a team player and tells the coaches when he's hurt and all that crap, I think he will actually have a decent season if he's going to create separation with his new receivers coach. Let's see what he can do. But I say it's really a hot seat year in a realistic sense, because we know Garrett's going to be there probably to the end of his contract, 2020. So Linehan is probably gone on the offensive side. And you're probably going to see Kellen Moore as maybe taking over for him at like quarterback. I mean, he's already quarterback coach, but he might be somebody that they want to see take over. I don't know. I would be too scared of that. But Linehan, and then you have a whole revamped offensive coaching side of things. So I think those are the guys all in the hot seat. And I think that you have guys that like Des Bryant on the hot seat, like Byron Jones on the hot seat. And other guys to a lesser extent like Anthony Brown are also on the hot seat. But
what about? I mean.
Byron Jones is a bigger name, though. He's always on the hot seat. Yeah. But Dak is also on the hot seat to an extent. So, they're all on the hot seat. Jason Witten's on the retirement seat. And, T. Will, he's got himself locked in. He's going to get traded or played out. But he's got $4 million for $16 million for 4 years. So,
he's
got three more years to go.
With all the draft picks that we have, and again, with the looming Byron Jones contract year, do you see the Cowboys going for a good, strong safety to again, either replace him or phase him out or get him cheaper? Or
I think there's going to be a testing year for Byron Jones, because I think Byron Jones is going to play a lot more cornerback than he did this year.
But then what do you do with him?
No, well, then you keep him. If he plays cornerback the way we think he can, and he already plays safety pretty damn good, not great, but good, and if he could play corner and do what we want him to do as a specialist kind of type player, when we want him to play the tight end, we want him to play rough press coverage with maybe the third receiver in the slot if they're slower, whatever it may be. It depends on who's in the slot. It depends on who they match him up on. But if he could be that kind of versatile player, I think you got to keep him. I really do. And so I don't know what you're going to pay him. I don't know how much you're going to have to be. You pay him long term. He can. He's pretty good out there with basically a bunch of rookies and Nolan Carroll. So he had to hold up that secondary, and he did the best he could. He messed up sometimes, but he made a lot of third down stops, a lot of goal line stops. People overlook him. So I think it is a testing year for him, but I think with the change you're going to see with his versatility, with this Chris Richard out there, we're going to see if he's going to really work out or not. And if he does, I expect not necessarily things that stand out in the stats. I expect him to really shut down tight ends. I expect him to shut down third receivers or the slower receiver out of the 3 or 4 that are lined up. I expect Byron Jones, if he does that, he'll be on the Cowboys, I think, next year. I think he'll be worth his money. He might not be that big of a name free agent because his stats won't show, but what he does, underneath is what's impressive about him. So I like to see his versatility, and I think Byron Jones will succeed. I just think that we can move T. Will. We can move, and again, you say who replaces T. Will? You guys said it already. Noah Brown might have to move up.
Baby Dez.
Yeah, I mean, you will call him Baby Dez. Let's play him out there. I mean, DJ Crown J made a good point about developing our own players. Switzer.
If the Cowboys are gonna keep all these players and hold on to all these guys, at least start to develop some of these young guys and,
all right.
make them work.
And I like that, but I also say you have to have a backup plan, an adjustment. And that's the problem with the Cowboys. They don't. They put all their eggs in the draft basket. And then if it breaks, a couple break, your whole team breaks. What you have to do is, yes, you go draft, and you draft. Okay, so let's say you got Butler gone. Let's say you trade Cole Beasley and you trade T. Will or cut him or whatever. They're gone, all right? Now who do you have left? You have Des Bryant. You have Switzer in the slot, let's say, and you have Noah Brown. And that's it, right?
Yeah,
I'm not talking about the practice squad. I don't know. We have Lance Lenore and a couple other guys, but the starting guys.
Right? Yeah.
We cut 3 out. We have 3 left. So what do you do? So here's what I say we do. We pick up someone like a Gallup or a Pettis, a wide receiver in the draft. That's a 3rd, 4th, 5th round. One of those rounds we can pick up a receiver, and it's deep in receivers, guys. So we get a receiver that can probably replace the 4th spot, the 5th spot on the depth chart easily. One of these guys will make the team for sure. So you can get one of those guys. That's one spot. The other way you go, yes, free agency. Not to Jarvis Landry, not to some big names. You go for, I'm going to say it again, Dante Moncrief. You guys can hate. I don't care. Someone like Dante Moncrief, you could have him push that T. Will position with Brown. And the thing is, eventually you have to make a decision about Brown. If he develops, let him beat out Moncrief. Let him beat out T. Will. That's what I want to see. If he can't beat out T. Will, then he's not going to make the team because T. Will's not that good. Moncrief, I think, has a chance to beat out T. Will. And hold it down for maybe a couple more years and see what happens with Dez. Because what if Moncrief develops, okay? And then we can afford to lose Dez if he has a bad year. You understand? Or by the end of his contract. So at that point, we could keep Moncrief, re-sign him to a bigger deal if he's become something that he looked like he would have going to be in his first couple years. But it's still a low risk thing, value. If he ends up producing, that means we're going to have him long term, and it means Des Bryant is out in a couple years. So, and I'm not trying to look to get him out. I'm just trying to look at realism here and see who next in. You want to say next in line? That's next in line. Now you move him over.
Realism though, baby. T. Will, again, everyone's saying it, and we know it's true. T. Will has the highest catch percentage on the team, 69%. And, you know, Mr. Wright kind of said it. Body catcher has the best catching percentage. Ain't that a kick in the head? So, and then Fifth Quarter Cowboy said, did you guys know Jason Garrett's brother, Judd Garrett, is the director of pro scouting for the Cowboys? So, and then Fred Wood says that our staff should have addressed our depth during last year's offseason. Front office thought Linehan was magnificent with the 13-3, and he wanted him gone then. So, he also said, I just hate when fans say that we didn't complain about Des when we were 13-3. We all did it. It just wasn't projected. We all complained about players after each play as we watched the game.
Fred Woods, you're 100% right. I mean, I'm one of those guys that said I don't like what. This is the year we were 13-3. I'm like, and he had a great playoff game against the Packers, but helped bring us back, almost win that game. But my point is, we should have won that game. My point is that he was inconsistent the whole year, and he was consistently bobbling the ball. Every pass to the end zone against the Steelers,
I've just never seen Des play like that. Right. That's the thing. When we're thinking about Des we know, right. It's like he definitely looked not like himself. And we were all, again, so excited. Everything he was saying in the offseason, he'd never worked out this hard in the offseason, never ate this healthy, never focused as much.
I'm referring to the year we were 13-3. That you're referring to this year, which we thought was even be better. Last year he was kind of injured in the beginning of the year against the Bears. He missed a couple games. He was never really 100%. So we figured, okay, he'll be fine this year. So now he's at the end of the year. He says he had tendonitis. All I'm saying is that Des Bryant has not had the continuity with his play on the field ever since then, and also with Dak Prescott. So it's a hand-in-hand kind of thing. Like you said, he might not fit our games plan system. If he cannot get separation from corners and from his routes anymore, he has to probably go next year. My point is, I don't think some people are saying Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins cost us at least $6 million. All right, Moncrief might cost us $4 or $3 million. And I'm just saying this: you want to provide a backup plan? That's a backup plan. Okay, you want to get a backup plan? Go John Brown. He get $3 million. John Brown, so can spread the field. I'm going to keep saying those names until I hear more about that, because I want to know who comes to Cowboy camp, because I do think we need to bring one receiver in, free agent, and draft a really good one in the 4th round, Gallup or Pettis, and those two guys themselves, along with Switzer and Noah Brown, can replace the loss of T. Will, Bryce Butler, and Cole Beasley. That's
now, realistically speaking, Beasley might go. T. Will's not going anywhere.
Could be traded.
Dez isn't going anywhere, but if we did replace Dez, that means that we need to find another receiver that's somewhat similar to him, though, in the sense of he needs to be a bigger receiver that can block. I mean.
But I don't know. I'm not talking about. That's what I'm saying, though. I don't think that's not even a question right now, because Dez is going to be on this team.
No, I know he's staying on the team. It's all right.
No, I mean, if you're talking about somebody who takes over his spot, I mean, then I think we have to go. If we're going to really consider getting rid of Dez.
Let me put it this way. You don't want to end up like the Patriots, where the only real big receiver they had was Gronk as tight end. Other than that, they had a lot of short, fast, quick wide receivers, but they didn't have anybody who was, maybe a little slower, still had some speed, but had a little more bulk. And I think that the way that, if we do what you're saying as far as not having T. Will anymore or trading him or whatever, that means that we're losing again. We're losing more bulk. And the guys that you're talking about bringing in, I mean, most of them aren't necessarily what I would consider as bulkier or bigger wide receivers. And again, I don't know enough about them to know if they can block very well. So I'm just saying that if we're going to move one of those pieces, we have to make sure at least one of those pieces can still do what we need them to do, and that's block.
If you're telling me about either T. Will, we know Bryce Butler's gone. And let's just say that, the rookie takes over for that spot, right? Who takes over for Beasley? It's obvious. Switzer. We got that, but who takes over for T. Will? We don't know yet, and so that is a good point.
Is Baby Dez Noah Brown?
No. That's what I'm saying. That might be too much of a jump for them, So Baby Dez is Noah Brown, and that's the thing is I don't think you put him. I don't think you can throw him out there. I don't think he's ready to go yet. I think you got to give him to year 3. And Space Cowboy and DJ Crown J and all of us talked about that last night on Space Cowboy's channel. Make sure you subscribe to him.
I think we can pretty much all agree that this upcoming year for Dez is critical, regardless of whatever side of the whole Dez debate. Which I hate even saying that because I think we're all on Cowboy side, first and foremost.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing though, is that you have to see. I think what you do is you keep someone like T. Will, You're right. You keep T. Will because you got him for a pretty good deal as a second receiver, even though he doesn't play like a second receiver. He blocks like a great receiver, but he doesn't catch. Again, catch percentage, great. He doesn't. He gets 3 catches a game. All right. I don't care about his 9 catches in 1 game a year. That's not enough. That's not enough consistency from a number 2. So, and he doesn't really He doesn't really create space when in his routes. He doesn't really do that either. Beasley used to. They doubled him. So. Everybody was always can be covered by one guy because they don't create space. And that's what I think we need to do when it comes to Dez Bryant on this team. If he's healthy and doesn't hold back any injuries, I think he will make some issues. The other defenses will still watch him, maybe sometimes have to double him at times, but he has to catch the ball. And when it comes to the other spot, yeah, you keep T. Will, but you bring in Moncrief. You bring him in as your fourth, as your Bryce Butler. How's that?
How about this? I would love to have our 4th wide receiver be someone with a little bit of experience. I mean, that goes without saying.
So what if you?
I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world,
What
but
if you
I would like to make sure we get him cheap or for a good deal.
Well, Moncrief is 6'2". He can run a 4.4 in the 40. The guy has speed. He has stretchability. He's made some great catches. He's got to learn to stay healthy. I think we can take a roll on the dice on this guy, and I want him on the team because I think he'll be a great complement in case as a backup plan.
He's not going to be used he's not going to be a first wide receiver.
Correct.
He's not going to be used.
I didn't say that. I never said that. Yeah, exactly. I want to make sure I clarify that. Right? He's not taking over for Dez. I'm just saying that he's somebody that could be out there to take over for T. Will, and if we see that he's getting the job done, then there's no reason to have T. Will out there or just to block. Then he becomes a tradable commodity next year. And I'm just saying, I'm just trying to give you the future. We're talking about the future of the Cowboys. That's what this whole stream's about. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about what does the future entail for these guys. And I think Dez is a make or break for him. I think Dak, for his starting quarterback status to stay solid, he has to have a good year this year. Byron Jones to stay on the team, he has to have a really good year this year, and it be versatile, playing corner and safety when need be. I think that's going to make him a very valued commodity for the Cowboys. So these are the factors that I think that are going to be very important for next year. We got to overcome the bad coaching. Sometimes we have the coaches.
Not sometimes. All the time.
The bad coaches have to overcome some of the bad execution on the field by the players. Sometimes it goes both ways. But the unfortunate part that both those things cannot help is that if we get players on the team by Will McClay and they're not developed properly, or they're just bad choices by Will McClay, then that is already a setback at that position, at that depth spot, and it's a major hit to those things. So to me, I think that is something we have to make a huge improvement on when it comes to getting depth, signing free agents. And I already listed 5 that I would love to sign, but let's just say 4. And I say 4, we need a backup tackle. All right, a backup tackle like Mike Tobin from the Seahawks/Eagles, a backup tackle like Cameron Fleming from the and I'm talking about backup tackle for our team. They're starters. Cameron Fleming for the Patriots, and another, what's the other name? Oh, Austin Pastor from the Falcons. These guys are players we could pick up for $2.5 to $3.5 million at most. We need them behind Tyron Smith. We cannot run with a rookie. So when you get that free agent set, and you get like a running back, like let's say a Lance Dunbar, or if you re-sign Alfred Morris, you get that third, you get a little depth in your running back spot, okay? Just to spell, Zeke. I think that Rod Smith is fine, in my opinion, but you never know what could happen in the season, so you get an extra guy in there. You got to bring somebody in. Lance Dunbar, third down back, could do that job. You could do the same thing with Alfred Morris if you want. And then, so that's another guy. I keep saying Moncrief. I'm going to continue. And if you want to go with a linebacker, if you don't draft Roquan Smith, or if even if you draft Roquan Smith, if you get rid of Hitchens, which I think would be the biggest mistake of the year, I think you go with someone like Nigel Bradham from the Philadelphia Eagles, who's going to be an unrestricted free agent, who might cost between $3.5 to $5 million, $6 million. You might have to stretch for someone like that to add some real depth. Maybe Navarro Bowman, if you can get him out of California into Dallas, if that's possible. That would provide that 4th linebacker you want in case Sean Lee goes down, And you draft Shaquem Griffin from UCF in the 4th round. You draft a good safety. You guys were talking about safety earlier. It was Justin Reed or Jeremy Reed, I think his name was. You draft this guy in the 2nd round, especially if you trade down in the 1st and get Maurice Hurst. And you can get 2 picks in the 2nd or 2 picks in the 3rd. You got 4 in the 4th. I mean, you got 3 picks in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. You build your team that way. And I say through trades because you're getting a lot of young guys, and a lot of them are going to be hits, not misses. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, guys, our thoughts are definitely with Jason Garrett's family at this time.
What happened to
his
Jason
father
Garrett?
passed away.
Oh, wow.
And he was
Sorry
kind
about
of a
that.
scout, I guess, for the Cowboys.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying.
So,
I heard about.
First of all, our thoughts are with him and his family right now. I mean, again, we might not want him as our Cowboys coach, but that doesn't mean we ever want anything.
Yeah, that's
ill
heart.
will to him.
Not
And I know
heartless.
his dad was. I mean, his dad was like 90 something, right? And he ran like 5 miles a day or something. I mean, he was.
Yeah, I remember
just
seeing
a
that.
really
Yeah,
cool
he was an old guy,
and,
but yeah.
and again, man, I just can't imagine going through that at whatever age. So.
Yeah, so I mean, I like some of these questions. Jake Paul in the house, what's up? El Chapo,
Santa Claus,
El Chapo, Paco, sign Sammy Watkins. Hell no, I say no. He's too expensive and he's not that good. Mr. Wright says T. Will blocks very well. So does Noah Brown. I would love to see more crack blocks on linebacker, especially with Noah Brown. I agree.
No.
Jack Walker says Hitchens is going to Indy, probably $7 million a year, and we can pay $8 million and still get him. I think that we can get him.
Like he said, he's going there to become the leader of that defense. He's not going to pass that up. Like it's not just about the money. It's about
I know.
being
Jack
the
Walker,
number one.
you're right, and he's got Everfluss over there, but he doesn't have Josh McDaniels anymore, and that team is a little bit in disarray. He might want to rethink that. I'm just saying it's not as a sure thing, or as they don't have as much of a lead on Hitchens as they did. That's a fact, Jack.
And guys, make sure if you are here watching, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live. We do daily live streams on the Cowboys, general NFL updates. We'll be doing a lot of other content during this off season, but number one.
Yes,
Cowboys.
always, guys, and don't forget, baby, drop that link.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop the link. It's gonna be Dallas Cowboy fiance is gonna. My Cowboys fiance is gonna drop the link. As you can see above us, we have a super. It's not super chat. Super chat. YouTube just basically took away our monetization and super chat and all that stuff. So they take 30% of the donations. So we're going through Streamlabs, which is basically exactly the same thing. We just gotta drop the link for you guys. We also have the link in the description. We also. Oh, I almost forgot. Just a quick thing, guys, in case you're in. Yeah, guys, check the description below. There are the links there for the shirts. They have men, women, children, and even
the non-Cowboy fans.
Yeah, the ones that love the channel but don't love the Cowboys. There's some there for you too, guys. So I know you guys already purchased. We appreciate you guys. We do add you on the leaderboard for that as well. And we got all kinds of fans out there, guys. We had Steeler fans up there. We have a Philly fan right now, is number 2 on our list. We have, Patriot fans out there. A lot of different fans out here. Denver fans have been on the list. So much love to everybody. And even though this is a Cowboy channel, this is really an true non-bandwagon fan channel with fans that stick with their team, win, lose, or draw. And the Eagles won it this year, and I hate them and still F the Eagles, but you got to give them credit to at least win. Yeah.
Which we know there's definitely some because you guys are here. Good for sticking with your team. Enjoy your victory, and we're coming for you.
Yeah, you see my Cowboys fiance dropped the link, guys. That's from this channel. So make sure you if you want to donate, you can do it through there. Now, I see Santa Claus says Panthers looking to get Malcolm Butler.
And Jarvis Landry.
That's going to cost you the whole team. That's a mistake. Fifth quarter Cowboy says no Moncrief. Keep the receivers who are there to use Dak. We don't need a reset yet. I'm not saying reset. I'm saying push.
And Space
I think we need a push.
17 earlier said that he would rather address the wide receiver need in the draft.
Well, we are. I think we are going to address it in the draft.
No, instead of going for a guy like Moncrief.
I think we should do both. Well, why not? Why can't we do both?
Because again, use that money to pay Hitchens, to keep Hitchens.
Like we can still pay Hitchens.
Cowboys, fifth quarter Cowboys said that too.
We can still pay. We can still pay Hitchens without
use that money instead of paying Moncrief that money. Use that money to keep Hitchens.
There's no need. We still have the money. We still have the money to do both.
That's depending on some of the other moves that you're predicting the Cowboys are going to make.
Okay.
Or you think that just overall we already have the money to sign him?
Oh, no, they're going to make a lot of these moves. A lot of the moves I discussed, people don't like Hannah being cut. It's going to happen. Mayo is going to be cut. You don't like it, too bad. It's going to happen. These things are almost definite.
You can't, even on a good team, you can't always keep all the players that you really want to like because of
recycling. It's not. I want to make sure, fifth quarter, it's not resetting, it's recycling. And you have to kind of get players in there to recycle. For instance, the T. Will position, it's been long enough. He's not been productive that he has really no production for our team. It's not about Dak. It's not about Dez. It's about T. Will. He's not good enough to cut it. I don't even know why we signed him for $4 million other than the blocking skills he has, which he does have that. But is that enough to keep him? I mean, it's like signing, James Hanna because he can block, but he catches three times. He makes 3 catches a season. And he doesn't, he blocks great, and I like him in there, but is he worth $4 million? I'm saying $3 million, whatever he's hitting our cap. So, in my opinion, I'm sorry, but that's why you have Blake Jarwin in there. There's a reason why the Cowboys got him off the practice squad, because the Eagles are going to take him. So you have Jarwin. He's cheaper. He replaces James Hanna. That's the way it goes in football, and it's a business, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way it has to be.
Exactly.
And again, Jason Witten, he's just a mainstay. So is Dez Bryant. That's why they're still there. And they're going to be there probably one more year at least. So, and I say give them one more year. And I say get someone in there for Witten. Get him ready to rotate out. You need to get him. You need to rotate him, get ready to lessen his playing time, and focus on the future when it comes to the Cowboys at the tight end position. Let me see. I'll try to get as many as I can here, guys. Sorry I missed some of your questions. Again, guys, that's when you guys ask your question through the donation. It's the only way we can do it as well. Sebastian Flores in the house. What's up? You would take Murray back? I like Murray. I think Zeke is a Hall of Famer. I don't think Murray is. It will be, and it never will be. I think there's a difference there. Well, yeah, Skandrick is gone, guys. We know that, but we're not gonna. I don't say cut Hitchens. Skandrick is gone. Hannah is gone. Cooper is going to be a bargain player we can get as a starter and see who we get as a backup, and hopefully a rookie. But Bell's gone. Mayowa's gone. Morris probably won't be re-signed. Wilbur probably be. Depends how much he'll cost, but he could be cut. Beasley, it'd be a waste to cut him. We can probably trade him. And same thing with T. Will. We could probably trade him as Chapel. Andrew DeCall says the missus is speaking facts. You can't keep everyone. Exactly, and that's what I mean. We've all been saying that here in my Cowboys family. You cannot keep everyone. It's recycling, not resetting. But I think you need to sometimes you need to give a push because we might think about recycling that second position, that second receiver spot. Because I think we kept Bryce Butler for a reason. And there's no way what Terrence Williams did is going to push Bryce Butler out of the team because he didn't do anything really this year. So again, T. Will is expendable. So is Beasley, and again, and I'm not saying he can't be dangerous. Beasley can definitely be dangerous, but we have Switzer already ready to take over. We're gonna just never develop him. So my point is that that's why you have to kind of move these guys. It's resetting them some spots, replenishing with our youth that we have, and let's see if they really could develop these players. If you want to put it on that, then let's put it on that. So Cowboys Abroad says. We need at least one linebacker, a tight end, a backup lineman, defensive tackles. I agree 100% from you there, Cowboys Abroad. Too many other problems to bother replacing receivers. I don't say replacing them, though. You see, I'm saying you're going to lose some of them. You're going to lose Bryce Butler. We got to put somebody there. You got to go, like Space Cowboy said, I never said not to go draft. I'm just saying just don't go only draft. I'm going to say that again. Because we need to put players back there that can make plays, that have futures possibly, that you want to take a risk on. That is a $2 million player like John Brown or a $2.5 million player like Dante Moncrief. We can still afford Hitchens. We can still pay. We get money back from Zach Martin's extension. We can still do the tank franchise tag and then the David Irving lineman 2-year tender. So second round tender. So all that stuff is obviously very possible for us to do and still keep Hitchens and still keep, and still bring in Moncrief for 2.5. I mean, what are you going to do? Not spend any money on free agency? You got to spend money on a backup lineman. I think you got to go one receiver. I think you have to go probably a running back. And you got to go probably, I'm thinking linebacker or defensive back, but not just like the Benny Benwickeries that are going to be practice squatters or the 53rd man on the team. Because they're not going to ever play. They're going to be special teams. I'm talking about guys that actually make a difference. And you have to pay a little bit more than $700,000 for those guys. And $700,000 is not going to get you on the field playing, the spot we want Dante Moncrief playing. You understand? You're not going to get that. So I still say you go with Noah Brown and Switzer. Switzer pushes Cole Beasley out the spot. It's not that you're getting rid of. You're replacing guys with guys you drafted. You want to see out there in the field. You think can take it to that next level. Now, if you guys, if you want to make a training camp thing, you trade him in training camp. If you see that the Switzer's ready and he's pushing Beasley out, and you see Moncrief is there and he's pushing T. Will out, you trade those bastards. That's it. It's simple. If they're connecting better with Dak in training camp, and you want to keep both of them just in case you don't know which way to go and you're scared, and you don't trade them until the training camp, then trade them in training camp then. With teams that have lost receivers and are desperate now to get a receiver, a slot receiver like Beasley, or a second receiver like T. Will, and then you get them. Then you get rid of them. Either way, get rid of somebody because you had a lot of doubles and triples on this team that are never going to see the light of day. And again, they're never going to see it unless we start replenishing some of these players, not resetting, replenishing them. We have to do that, and that's the only way you're going to keep relevant and a chance for a title, making moves to replace people like James Hanna who's all right, he's all right, but replacing him for $3 million, $4 million less with a Blake Jarwin, who the Cowboys looking at as a future with the team. So you got to make a decision, and you have to make the big cuts like that. You got Taco in there, well, you got to get rid of Mayowa. You want to give him more time, more chances out there to shine. You want to trade. You want to make some room on your salary cap. Then let's trade Tyrone Crawford for a 6th round pick. I don't give a damn. Let's trade him away. Give him away. My point is that that opens up some space on the salary cap, and you get Taco to shine. You're going to get another. I'm sure we're going to get a defensive lineman outside of Vita Vea if we don't go with him at 19. So we're still going to go with somebody else. You're going to get a defensive end eventually. What if a Contavious Street wants to go back there and push Taco, and get him going out there too? There's a lot of options, a lot of depth that we can work, that we've drafted, but I think we got to use the trading system. I think we have to use the free agency to shore up some major spots on our team and give us some adjustments, some plan Bs, whether it's by receiver, shoring up the Tyron Smith spot or just shoring up some defensive depth, defensive line, whatever it is. You want to shore up, you do that through free agency as well. You just don't break the bank on it, but you spend the money there and you use your draft to develop these players to eventually take over, hopefully.
Now, as much as I love Jason Witten, the real fact is exactly, Jack Walker. How can we get Witten to retire? He's holding the team back. Realistically speaking, as a player, we do need to replace him. But there's something that Witten has that you can't just replace as easily that almost scares me more as far as losing him, which is his leadership, guys. His leadership and what he does for that team, when, outside of just the actual football stuff, he's a key part of helping the team stay focused. I mean, he's one of those team players. He's kind of the dad of the team. He is. And he has been for, a long time in his career. He's just always one of those guys. So, I'm worried about losing his leadership. And Rico Gathers is not going to go in there and be a leader. Okay. Rico's too busy getting his rap game on. So, as much as I know for a fact in my heart, I hate saying it because we all love Jason Witten. But again, he just isn't producing the same. His blocking isn't the same. Even as a receiver, he's just not the same. So
no,
it just is.
Here's what I'm saying now. Look, you want to talk about tight ends? Here's what we're going to do, and I believe that we're going to go this way. We're not going to go free agency. We're going to go draft. And when you talk about what we're going to do, what's our future for the Cowboys? I do believe that we're going to probably go with a defensive player in the first round. And I'm going to say like a Vita Vea, a defensive tackle, someone who's going to really be an impact player. If there's a Roquan Smith possibility, I say go for him. If there's, I will say do not go for receiver unless you're going to get rid of Des Bryant for some crazy ass reason. Then you go for receiver, maybe. Okay, but I don't. Let's not expect that to happen. Although, and Fiance has been saying this, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it every stream. Jerry Jones might try to make something major happen, some major deal, whether it's Des Bryant being traded or trading down a bunch of picks to get 15 picks later in the draft. Herschel Walker, yeah, back in the.
I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna do a
but
Herschel
this
Walker,
is in Dallas. This is in Dallas, and that is a good point you make. That he might want to make a big splash here at his draft. So, especially with the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, it's going to be tough for Cowboy fans and to have to swallow that when they go up on stage and brag about their one single ring. And just as a reminder, you know how it goes here. I got to do it, guys. I saw 3 of them, and I'm sorry. You can't. One is great, congratulations, but you can't compare to.
It's all right, baby. So, Andrew, let me see. Cowboys are my set. I love my shirt. I'm glad I got the one with the My Cowboys family name. Again, Cowboys Abroad, your shirt is...
one of a kind.
One of a kind. Andrew DeCross said, I hope Tyron can stay healthy this season. We need him protecting Dak's blind side. And then very sad. Jim Garrett, rest in peace. Our thoughts are with him. The whole Garrett family. Yeah. And... the Cowboys lost a good one.
Yeah.
So Wolf Rider in the house. And Chapo Paco said Dak will take on that leadership torch from Witt. I think to an extent, yeah, but the point is that
you still gotta show it a little
I'm
more.
hoping that someone else somewhere on the team will help step up and kind of fill that in. Again, as these older guys get replaced, younger guys take their place. So I just don't know if it's going to be a tight end again. It might be a different spot. But either way, offensively, we need some more experience and leadership and guidance. And fifth quarter Cowboys
we need more depth on offense.
For sure. Depth for sure. Yeah. That goes before all that. Fifth quarter Cowboys said, MCF, keep it real. Moncrief will not sign for $2.5 million. You're just saying that to make your point. He wants $4 million, and Dallas would be crazy to pay him that.
If he
really wants $4 million and he's not going to budge, then again, it comes down to whether the Cowboys think it's worth signing him for that.
And again, fifth quarter, you don't know what he's going to sign for because we don't know what the market is. He can ask for $5-10 million, and he's not going to get that necessarily. Mm-hmm. But the point is that we got to wait to what the market's going to call for him. And again, I've heard $2.5 million to $4 million. I've heard it stretched out to that. It's not going to be less than 2.5. But my point is that I said this before. I said this last night. I'm going to say it again. I'm gonna say it tomorrow if I have to. If he's $3 million or under, you try to make a play for him. Case closed. That's what I'm not making my point. That's my point. If it's over that, you don't go for him. If John Brown's over $3 million, you don't go for him. I'm just saying $3 million is like the cutoff for a receiver. If that's the case, you just go Pettis in the draft. And you keep T. Will and Beasley one more year with Dez. Let them show what they got. If not, bye-bye. Bye. So, I mean, I'm being real about that. And, yeah, I do believe that Dez Bryant and T. Will and Beasley better show up, too, this year for Dak Prescott. No matter if they're more passing plays and they're going to roll Dak out of the pocket and make it more Dak-friendly, they better get damn open. And that ball comes and hits them in the hands, they better catch it. Because this time, they'll be gone. All of them, all three. I really believe that.
Dallas Cowboy Football News in the house. Thank you for joining us. And, guys, if you haven't already subbed up to Fifth Quarter Cowboys, make sure to go sub up to him. He has some great stuff out there. Hopefully, we'll be able to see one of your crazy cursing rants. I want to see it. I think other people
Don't forget Dallas Cowboy Football News also. Subscribe up to him, guys.
Right, guys.
The legendary Cowboys Legend 27. Sub up to him. And,
Space
of course,
Cowboy 17, guys. Make
Space
sure to
Cowboy
sub up
17.
to all these guys. Great content creators here on YouTube. Great Cowboy stuff. And let me see.
Different flavors, guys. Different flavors.
Cowboys Abroad and DJ Crown J can agree on one thing. And I guess that thing is Dez. So you see, guys, the Cowboys bring us together. They bring us together. But yeah, guys, let me see. Fredwood said, preach. Let me see. T said, we need a fast running back that can catch. I love McKinnon from the Vikings. He's a free agent.
He's $4 million, though. He's $4 million plus. We can't afford that. I'm just being real. And like DJ Crown said, if it's $4 million for Moncrief, he can ask whatever he wants. I don't think he'll get $4 million, but he could. He can get $8 million too. I mean, I think John Brown said he wants $8 million. He's not gonna get $8 million. All right, not with sickle cell, and not with consistent. Yep, and not with consistent injury issues that he's had in his career. But for $2.5 million. A year, you can see that. It might be a contract late in, like with bonuses and stuff or incentives that might end up, boosting, like say a contract of $2.5 or $3 million for either of these guys. If they are producing, then they'll get an extra $1 million or something like that. That would be worth it, in my opinion, because that means they're producing. And if they're producing, they're going to be on the team. That means if they're on the team, that means Beasley and T. Will are off the team. And I'm not saying, even if you just pick one of them, you still have pushed one of your players that can't hang off the team. Now you move Switzer in for Beasley, and you move Moncrief in for T. Will, and and then depending on what Dez Bryant does, you deal with him accordingly. If he has another bad season or is not a team player with the multiple examples we've given here, he's got to go. Whether it's a trade, whether it's it's cutting him. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But it's obviously, and I think DJ Crown J said this too. Obviously, if he has a bad season, he can't create separation, and he's healthy. It's on Dez. So, we'll see what happens. I just don't like – the only thing I blame the coaches when it comes to the passing game, and I'm not trying to take any kind of
it's just the uninspired routes.
Well, I'm talking about – that's the player, though. I'm talking about the actual – and, again, it's too predictable, the routes. That's the coaches. What I'm saying about the passing game is – and it comes to Dak, I'm not trying to find excuses for Dak. I'm saying Dak – overthrows plays. He's not on target, and you saw this last year. You saw it in the 30-13 year. He was overthrowing players in the first half of games, almost every game. He wasn't throwing picks. He threw 4 the whole year, but he was overthrowing a whole lot of passes. He did it last year as well, and he did not. It looked worse because he was picked more, and also some bad drops, whether it was by T. Will off his shoulder or a couple by Dez Bryant that cost us big plays on interceptions and pick sixes and stuff like that. So those things have hurt us. But I think it was those things on top of Dak's inexperience of throwing just making bad passes. That is on the coaching staff to not put Dak in those kind of rushed situations with a lacking left tackle replacement for Tyron Smith, for a lacking for a player who still needs more development. You just can't throw him into the fire like that. When you have a Dez Bryant, he's the guy that when it hits his hands, he's got to make the catch because he's been there for 10 years. He hasn't been there, or 7 years, whatever he's been there for, 9 years. He's been there for a lot of years. He's not a developing player. He needs that. When the team is down, Dez has to make that catch. Dez has to make that. If it hits his fingertips and it drops, or he ran the route short, it's on him. And that's where I blame him for being not a team leader, someone who needs to support Dak Prescott in those situations. We need his support. And I know he's passionate. I know he can do it, but we have to see him out there. We have to see him really, having a great year this year. And I really hope we do. I really hope he does, because that would be, I think that's very possible for Dez as well. I just think that he has to get help from Dak, from the coaches, but the game planning the most, and that's where I think we need to help Dak and Dez together with game planning. And I think and people were saying about getting people. I say you go with, let's say you get Vita Vea, you trade down and get like a Maurice Hurst, okay, in the first round. Second round, you go for if you go for a safety like Justin Reed. And I said Jordan. I think three different J names. Jeremy. It's Justin Reed. Justin Reed is what I've read about this guy. He's a fantastic player. I cannot wait to do we're gonna do a little reaction video on some of these players soon, guys. You can go with Justin Reed. You can go with if both linemen are taken. Like we said, Hernandez and Wynn, which will probably get done out of the second round. You can go for Justin Reed as a safety. Now you got defensive lineman, you got safety. The third pick, again, if you can go. I wish we can get Roquan Smith. That would make things so much easier. But if you go with those guys, you can still get Josie Jewell, linebacker, if you want to really add depth in there. Even though he's kind of like a Sean Lee, he gets blocked out of some plays. You can take a chance there. If you want to wait and go with linebacker in the second round, which there's a lot of guys to pick from there, you can go third round. You can go for the safety. You go to Deshaun Elliott, which again for his worth at that spot with what you can get at the second spot, I say, yeah, let's get Elliott at the third and skip on the safety in the second round, because you have a third round projection you can grab. So now you go to the fourth, you have 3 picks. In that group, you pick a tight end. You get in one of those picks, you take a tight end to challenge for Rico, for that next guy behind Witten. The next guy who's going to come. You get a Troy Fumagalli, 9 fingers and all. We take him. You take or you go a Mike Gesicki. He's another guy you can take at tight end in the 4th round. Another guy you take in the 4th round. You want to shore up if you Contavious Street. If you don't have a defensive lineman yet, you go for him in the 4th or 5th round. You go for Sky Moore at linebacker for added depth, or Griffin from UCF, guys. Marquise Griffin. Griffin from UCF with the one hand. You go for Shaquem, yes. You go for him in the 4th round as well. I think those are a lot of good choices for the Cowboys to get to shore up their defense. And again, I know we have to find a lineman. That's the thing. An offensive guard is going to be something we're going to want to find. If he's not an impact guy, I don't know if we really got to bank on it this year. I think we got to re-sign Jonathan Cooper, and we got to find someone good back there.
We have a need, but from what's available, it doesn't seem like it's worth our efforts to try and make a big player, a big move for anyone, and that the other people left at the other positions we might grab someone isn't going to be, like you said, an immediate impact
when you go that low. I mean, I guess Okafor would be a better choice in the 4th round, but even he has his downfalls. You can't throw him in there. He's a tackle as well. Someone you get in the 4th, a cornerback, Holton Hill. He's the one that had issues. His stock has dropped, but he is a 1st round talent. So he's someone we could pick up in the 4th round. I would love to get. And again, a receiver. Those are the 3 picks in the 4th: tight end, cornerback, and receiver. And the receiver, I would say, go with Dante Pettis. He has the makings of a John Brown, Jarvis Landry type guy. And again, this is deep in receiver, this draft. So I think you can go that way as well to add him to replace Butler. And and we'll see about Moncrief. We'll see what happens with that. But I think you have a lot of names, and after that, it kind of gets a little bit thin. Yeah. But I mean, I just think you can add so many guys that way.
No, and thank you, Fred Woods. We appreciate the kind words, and to everyone here, thank you for joining us and watching. Thanks for chatting with us. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to we pretty much talked about everything Cowboys.
I definitely want to catch up with some of your comments.
Yeah, let's get some comments. We're going to wrap up.
We're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up, but let me scroll back to kind of the spot where we left off at. Let me see. So, here, this is a good one. So, you're willing to replace Beasley with Switzer, but not T. Will with Noah Brown, 5th quarter Cowboy says. And then T says, stop with the Noah hype. No way he starts the season. Mr. Rice says, T. Will can't go. It just doesn't make sense with his contract. He's locked in. El Chapo says Brown won't start, but he does need more snaps. So that's kind of the general consensus on Noah Brown.
I agree with Noah Brown not starting yet. You can't just throw a 6. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure 5th quarter hears me. You just can't throw in a 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, and expect to be a starter in the second year. Sorry, that's not happening. And you can't compare that. Now Beasley showed some signs not Beasley. Switzer showed some signs last year in that last game. He showed signs of improvement throughout the season. So I think he's a guy you can probably bank on a little more, especially when you see that Beasley's been kind of figured out. You double him, he's done. He's done if you double him. And again, you gotta have another receiver like Des Bryant to get doubling off of him to have a chance to have Beasley. I think Switzer can create it on his own. I think Switzer can actually create space better than Beasley can. So I like that roll of the dice. But no, I don't like the other roll of the dice with Noah Brown, who I think is better. I think he's almost better than T. Will. I just think the experience needs to be there. I think he will eventually be replacing him. But in the meantime, if you want to have a plan B, if you want to push someone, and I don't know how much you can really push someone like T. Will because he's already been pushed, and I don't think he really. I don't think he's
pushed him as much as this staff and this team can take him.
I agree. So I think that you roll the dice on Moncrief. If he pans out, you got yourself some real good depth. You got some real depth. But he's a cheap, again, under $3 million, not $4 million. If he's $4 million, then let him go somewhere else. Same thing with John Brown. But I think
and I don't know who said it in the chat though. They said free agents are free agents because they want more money, and the Cowboys just shouldn't spend that money on a player like Moncrief.
Well, and that's why Cowboy fan Marquis saying we need a receiver in the round 1 or 2. That is wasting a pick. I think that's wasting a pick because again,
I think the highest you go for a receiver is 3rd round.
And
that's why I said the highest. Like, if you're looking for a receiver that you want to plug and play.
Here you go, guys. If Christian Kirk falls to the 2nd round, you grab him. All right. Aside from a superstar receiver, you don't go for it because it's so deep at receiver. You can get a receiver that starts in the 4th round or that plays more than you. You know. Again, you guys look up the information on Pettis. You guys look up the information on Gallup. You see the speed on these guys. You see they're also returners. They also add a lot of other elements that you can play with them. And they will become the guys that take in the last role to come in the camp. But I think they can rise up a little faster than you might think in the first place. Even if you get someone like what's his name, Calvin Ridley in the 1st round, which he wouldn't fall to us anymore, thank goodness. But if you get someone like him, he's still not going to be able to just crack in there and just take over for T. Will. It's not going to happen that fast, that soon. It might take a whole year before he gets in there. Then what are you going to do with the other guys? Now you got 3 Switzers in there, basically, and I don't know. To me, you got to start, getting smarter with who you. If you're not going to use Beasley and Switzer at the same time, then what are you doing? You're wasting a spot. A roster spot's being wasted. Let's be real, Cowboy Nation.
Oh, man, baby. We got lots to say here, even though there's not too many.
Always a lot to say about
this. So give me just a second. Okay, there we go. So, sorry, guys. Give me a second. I want to make sure I scroll back to
the link was dropped, guys, in case you want to donate.
If you want to help support the channel.
It definitely hasn't been crazy the last couple of days, but I will say it was crazy on Super Bowl Sunday and the day after. And,
I know.
And also, that stuff is close up there. Cowboys Abroad through Patreon and dropped today. I also added, the three Patreons we had for this past month on the leaderboard there. And when I added it all up, you can see the numbers, guys. You see who's up there, and DJ is right on the tail of LT.
We got a decent race, yeah.
Who's the other one? Oh, yeah, the first place. Cowboys Abroad is in first. Yeah, so first, this is the first time Cowboys Abroad has held it down this long. So
yeah, so again, congrats. Cowboys Abroad, you're holding on to the lead, and we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But I guess start plotting, start thinking,
what you want down here on the list on the donation.
Let me see. Well, Cowboys Abroad agrees with me as far as that leadership means a lot. So, and again, that's my biggest fear as far as losing Jason Witten, because as far as his talent, no offense, his talent's already gone.
Yeah, but I want to say,
we can find someone else.
We're not gonna. Yeah, and really, even though he's a starter for most teams, he wouldn't surpass Des Bryant in day one, and also he would probably not. He's not going to be there for the Cowboys. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So 5th quarter Cowboys, yes. Again, I don't want to talk too much about my day job, so to speak, but it's been a drama-filled few weeks, and unfortunately, again, vacation goes by seniority, and there's certain periods where we're not allowed to take vacation, so it's so basically, I'm just waiting to make sure that it's approved, because I can't take vacation during those days, but I do have to ask for those days off, so. Again, as soon as I have that 100% confirmed, guys, my booty's going to be in Dallas right along with fiance, along with hopefully a bunch of you guys. And again, 5th quarter Cowboys. Can't wait to see you out there. I know Dallas Cowboy Football News is going to be out there. And again, any of you guys out there, let us know. We want to meet you. We want to say hi. It's because of you guys we're even able to have this experience. This wasn't even like a blip in our radar. Yeah. So thank you again to everyone who helped support the channel to get us this far, for all that stuff, for our second mic we're going to have to buy because now this one's crapped out on us finally. So, see, it's going to be at the Star in Frisco, exactly, El Chapo, and that's why it's historic. That's why I'm making the bold prediction. I know I'm not the only one, but I'm making the bold prediction that Jerry Jones is going to drop something big. We're going to see the bombs drop. We're going to see him do something where all eyes are once again on the Cowboys. Forget those Eagles, right? 5th quarter Cowboys said a section of the stadium will be open to all of the fans, and again, that's where we want to be. That's where hopefully you guys are going to be. Can't wait.
Yeah, guys, we're gonna have more information on that in the future.
As time comes, we don't want to say anything prematurely either. So as soon as we have all the facts, all the info, we'll be giving that to you guys, and we'll be letting you guys know. Because again, we want to see you guys
we'll probably have a meeting point with a couple of the Cowboy YouTubers, and then we'll go from there and go to wherever we need to go. We're gonna be there early, guys. So if you're gonna join us, make sure you get out there early, and we'll let you know more information as time goes on for the fans of our channel and other channels out there. There's a meeting spot for the Cowboy Nation of this side of this corner of the Cowboys Nation, and we're gonna definitely go out there and represent one way or the other, and we're gonna be out there looking for and live streaming as much as possible from the draft.
You guys as many updates and things like that. But number one, guys, this
and
is
our reactions to it as well. I mean, we're gonna be right there, live and center, and we're gonna film it. So we're gonna put it on. Yep.
So, but the number one thing, guys, is this season is over. It was probably hands down the worst season that you can ask for a Cowboys fans, because we had all the Zeke drama, we had all these issues. We didn't make it to the playoffs, and the freaking Eagles won the Super Bowl. So it's like the crappy little cherry on this crappy little season. But guess what, guys? It's over.
It's history.
Exactly. This is time for us to focus on the future. We've been talking for ages now about what the Cowboys need to do. We're confident that the Cowboys can definitely make some of these right moves. Every day gets closer to, free agents or pickups and cuts and signings, and again, the draft. I'm excited, but I actually had this question for you. So for all the people saying Hitchens might go to Indy, my question is, what's the timeline for something like that to happen? Would it be something that happens before the draft, or we might be able to address that at the draft? And again, if Hitchens goes, does that mean the Cowboys do something crazy and try to get Roquan Smith? Because now we're missing this big, giant, critical linebacking position that we might be able to fill at the draft. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, baby?
No, I think that Hitchens will be determined before the draft. I mean, I think that March something is the official first. I think March 1st is officially the day that they get to now become free agents. It's the official start of the 2018 season, and I think is March 1st. March 2nd is the Combine Day, and we're going to do reaction film on that.
That's going to be fun.
But that first day, there's going to be a lot of big signings. So we're going to it's going to be a busy day on the March 1st as well. It's going to be March is going to be busy. We got coaching.
You got to hit that notification bell, guys, because if it's going to be coming at you fast, we want to get all the information out there as soon as possible, as accurately as possible, and as quickly as
sometimes
possible.
In the past 6 months of the season that we've been broadcasting here from our channel, sometimes we've done like 5 breaking videos in a day. This has been crazy. So expect that, especially on those days, and make sure you watch the our March 2nd reaction stream. I'm going to probably move around some of my schedule so I can make sure I'm here watching it on TV while it's live and streaming with you guys my thoughts and really getting to know these players. In between now and then, Fiance and I, we have not seen much, if any, really footage of any of these college guys that we're talking about right now. I want to take a look at them myself. I'm going to compile. There's a website that I think I can hook up to this, and I can do it, and we can watch it live. Our reactions as we watch the videos, and I could probably put the videos on the screen as well. So since this is not monetized, whatever.
I don't think we signed a safety, but again, that's I think
no,
safety is.
We did. Yeah, we did sign a safety. But again, his name is Jason. He's not a big name. He's just. I'll tell you right now. Here he is.
Jason, no name.
No, Jason Thompson.
Okay.
From Utah. He was at Wyoming. He was a quarterback in Wyoming. He went to Utah, became a safety. He's 6'2", 208 pounds. He reminds me of Jameel Showers. Which is like, exactly. So, but he come to a futures deal, which means that he'll be on the team for training camp. I guess another body in there. You never know. One of these guys might be a real diamond in the rough. But I would like to find our diamonds in the rough in the 4th and 5th round, or higher up if we trade down in the 1st. If Roquan Smith is there, guys, I don't care if Calvin Ridley's there. If it's Roquan Smith or Ridley, you go Roquan Smith without question. Even if you keep Hitchens, and imagine you keep Hitchens too. I mean, you have the best. All of a sudden, you went from, oh my goodness, we need linebackers, to you got Sean Lee, you got Hitchens, and you got Jalen Smith, you got Roquan Smith. All right, and Hitchens is not. That Sean Lee's probably gonna get an injury here and there, so you don't feel so bad about that. You also have Damian Wilson still on the team under contract.
Another Robert Blanton.
Who?
And thank you for that. Fifth quarter Cowboys. I'm guessing is talking about the
safety.
Thompson.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
he's
worse than Robert Blanton.
Andrew DeCall, thanks for that info. He said the combine starts from the 27th to March 5th. So, and Fifth quarter Cowboys says that he likes Jameel Showers. Isn't he the one who we always keep because he's like the fifth quarterback?
Yeah, I don't mind him. I just wish he would. He's his hands tied because he was a quarterback for a couple of years and was on the practice squad as that.
I just feel like he's gonna be one of those players that kind of drifts off into obscurity and never ends up.
I mean, he already kind of is. That's the problem. He's still in the NFL and he's still on the team, but I don't think he'll ever crack this really, truly starting lineup and actually be a major factor on the Cowboys anytime soon. I just don't see that with Jameel Showers. I'm not saying this guy can't produce, but again, I see him to be a Jameel Showers practice squad type player at best, unfortunately. And that's just not knowing anything about him. Just be honest about that.
And thank you, Cesar Duarte, for joining us. That is, I guess you are famous enough. You got a hater/troll. So, just someone trying to mess with us. And, don't worry. I know who you really are because I know that's you for real. So thanks for being here, man. Don't worry about it. So Mr. I said the Star would be better. It's so much better for that kind of event. The stadium is nice, but it's a different feel. So, and again, I've never been to either one. I'm excited to hopefully be able to see it. So
it's not going to be at the stadium? I thought it was.
No. He's saying, and I said I'm pretty sure it's at the stadium, but Mr. Wright's saying that doing it at the Star would be better. That it has a better vibe for that type of thing. But again, maybe just space-wise, it just doesn't have.
We're gonna visit probably with some other fans. We're gonna visit the Star. So we're gonna check that out in the daytime, but we're gonna definitely be there on Thursday evening for the draft, Friday evening for the draft, and Saturday daytime for some of the draft. I'm staying there for as long as possible. I know we're going to try to be there, whether you're there or not, baby. We're going to, I'm going to be there for at least the 6th round, if not the whole thing. Broadcasting my reactions. They're going to be coming fast and furious in the 2nd round. I think they get a minute to pick, so it's going to be like boom, 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 quick.
Boom, boom,
yeah. First round takes a long time, but it's the build-up. You know all the players in the first round already by now.
Andrew DeCall said Showers is still getting those NFL checks. Salute to him.
Yeah, no, in that sense, it's great. I mean, he's that kind of player that hangs on. And he does enough stuff on the field, whether it's through special teams, through quarterback, or through defense. Either way, though, will he ever really start for us? No, never. I don't see it. I just don't see something real. I just don't see it happening.
Guys, I'm going to go ahead and do some of our final shout-outs, and I'll go ahead and drop the link one last time in the chat.
Before that, though, I was going to say, I wanted, as you drop it, and you can see, guys.
Anyone who does help support the channel with $10 or more does get these super awesome My Cowboys family wristbands. Again, if you are rocking one, you're missing out.
Yes, as you can see, My Cowboys fiance posted the Streamlabs link for donations. It's the same thing as Super Chat, except a lot better for you guys. YouTube takes 30% of the donation, and Streamlabs takes 3%, or I guess the whole process takes 3%. Anyways, the link is down there, guys. Check it out. And I want to make sure I give a special thanks to DJ Crown J, who's been not only today he donated, so thank you so much, DJ.
Thank you. Throw up the X again, just for you.
And remember that he's been the winner for 6 straight weeks. But yes, Slim Shady was the winner last week. He
knocked him down with the biggest donation ever on this channel, guys.
And Slim Shady,
thank you for all the support. Yes. He's also up here on the leaderboard. But right now at number 1, LT Metis.
Incorrect.
No?
Sorry, baby. Nope.
Oh, no, the Cowboys Abroad. I'm sorry. Guys, this is what happens. I'm behind. Cowboys Abroad in the lead. He had the Patreon money. He's got the T-shirt. He's got, so again, he's
the T-shirt was last week though, so that was kind of on that.
I thought that was this week. So then it's just again through supporting in the Patreon. But Cowboys Abroad got his My Cowboys Family T-shirt. We're gonna have the picture of that up on Twitter. It's already up on our Facebook. We're gonna be posting it here tomorrow as well. Because again, I loved it. Thank you, man. Again, we're excited to get ours. And then as soon as it scrolls by, we'll make sure to read off everyone else on the leaderboard. But then LT Metters is number 2, guys. Yes. Eagles fan. He wants to watch fiance's shirt burn. So he put down a down payment. He's waiting. Let's see if he comes back to collect. And if we're going to be having a little bonfire here in My Cowboys Family.
Hopefully not.
At number 3, none other than Fifth Quarter Cowboys. DJ Crown J, guys. DJ, drop the link in the chat for your channel. Guys, go sub up to Fifth Quarter Cowboys. Go sub up to Dallas Cowboy Football News, Space Cowboy 17, LL, Cowboys Legends 27, guys. We got some great content.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure, speaking of DJ Crown J and Fifth Quarter Cowboys, he said, Will Hernandez get him? That's it. Honestly, I wouldn't have that's the only position, that's the only player I would say get in the first round that's an offensive player. Will Hernandez, guard. I think he's a dominator. I think we would definitely.
You think he's an immediate impact guy?
Yes, I think he, especially in the first round, we grab him. He wants to play in Dallas. That's his favorite team. That's like his heart's here. I think we get him. We can really do a lot of stuff, and then we might not have to look into getting Jonathan Cooper. Although I still say we get a veteran guy to play that spot. I think Cooper would be a guy we should get for minimal pay to get him back on the team to at least be the backup or at least the starter in the beginning and let Will Hernandez develop. Back to the leaderboard on top, though. Dallas Cowboy Football News, as you said, he needs, subscribe up to him. He's in 4th place. Thank you so much for your donation.
We got the real Slim Shady, I think, should be a Lions fan, you think, at number 5, and Dano896 at number 6.
Thank you, Dano.
And last but not least, we got Adam and Fox Girl at number 7, and then last but not least, I think it's a football nerd.
Yes, I think
Right,
so. Yes,
Football
yes,
Nerd at number 8. So, guys, thank you so much for all the support. And X Factor, Cowboys X Factor, thanks for joining us here. Actually, the beard is supposed to be coming off with the big $1,000 stream, which
I knew it was
hopefully
gonna
never
happen.
happens because
Yes.
this needs to stay.
Yeah, I think
This needs to
DJ
stay.
Crown J is off of that.
So we're good. I want to keep the beard, so I don't care.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
beard.
yeah, $20 is definitely not going to do it. Sorry.
So let's see. Go check out Dallas Cowboys Talk. Yes, guys, definitely make sure to check out all the great Cowboys content creators that we have out here on the platform.
And I agree with Fred Woods. Derwin James is going to be a guy you want to look at. I think if Roquan Smith is on there, you get Roquan Smith over Will Hernandez. I think those are the guys you look at over the Will Hernandez type guy. I don't know if you go over for Will Hernandez. I think you maybe trade down and maybe get Will Hernandez a little later and maybe pick up a 3rd round pick. See, that might be a smarter move, and you get someone maybe like a linebacker and a receiver, or a defensive lineman. Then you know what I'm saying, a defensive linebacker, a defensive end. I don't know, something like that later on in the round, or offensive guard in the 2nd round. Maybe on Isaiah Wynn if he drops that far. So I think there's a chance that we can still grab somebody in the but to me, when it comes to offensive linemen, it has to be 1st or 2nd round. Receivers are deep, linebackers are deep. I just think that Roquan Smith is such a great linebacker and is at a position of need for us. And I'm not even talking about Hitchens going. I'm talking about mainly because of Sean Lee's injury prone status. That Roquan Smith would be an elite player to grab at that spot. A complete impact player. And you say, where does he go? Where is he going to start? He's the 4th guy. Well, yeah, he's the 4th guy, but he'll be out there doing a lot of things. And again, you don't want to really have him out there rushed and going crazy doing everything so fast. Even though if he has the ability to do it, that's great. But we want him out there developing and getting better, even if he's a little more in the background that first 8 games of the year. In my opinion, by the last 8 games, I think he's gonna be a beast out there. And if Sean Lee goes down, we have no fear. You know what I'm saying? Replacing that position. That's a major thing for our team. We need to have a depth at linebacker with Sean Lee's issues, and I think we're good everywhere else. With the young guys in the backfield and the front line, which is looking good. I think we're in good shape on defense, but I think we have to shore up the players. If we don't get a Roquan Smith, Vita Vea, I think is the realistic example at 19. I think we could trade down and get Maurice Hurst at like 25 or 30 and get another 2nd round pick or get another 3rd round pick in the mix of that. That would be even more viable than getting a Vita Vea. I'd rather get Maurice Hurst and move down and pick up a 3rd round pick. That would be a better deal, because I think from there we can really pick up like a Trenton Thompson at defensive tackle. It's, if we needed to, or we can go with a Josie Jewell at linebacker, or I'm trying to think, like a Deshaun Elliott at safety. That is how we prepare our team, and then get ready for next year. Prepare for the depth for next year when we have Byron Jones is going to be asking for a lot of money. When we have other guys that are going to be like Jeff Heath, maybe he's going to be gone. We don't know what his deal is going to be. We don't know what he's going to be like at the end of next year. So you want to have guys ready to roll in place. Good rookies. Good Deshaun Elliott, a year under the belt, could be the dominant player next year, So he could play well this year, but he's going to be dominant next year under Chris Richard. I think we are in good shape if we play if we try to go for the superstar receiver. I think that's the biggest mistake we can do, especially since I know we're going to end up keeping Des Bryant. I'm not saying that's great. I'm not saying that's horrible. I'm just saying it's going to happen, and we're going to keep him all good. I personally say give him one more year, and then we move on if he can't do it. But I think that Des Bryant is already our number 1 receiver. There's no need to bring another number 1. You bring in number 2s and 3s like John Brown's, and yes, Dante Moncrief. Go with Moncrief, guys. If it's under $3 million.
Yeah, no, X Factor, yes. Jason Garrett's father did pass away. Our thoughts are with him, his whole family.
Yeah,
we talked about that earlier. And then Mr. Rice said, I might trade out of the 1st round with Cleveland for the 33rd pick and their 1st next year.
Very, very, and again, that's a good strategy. That could be worth it for us if our guys are gone. I do think that if we get the 33rd, we can get someone like a Maurice Hurst. We can get a Daron Payne. We can get someone like a Christian Kirk if you want to go receiver and make an impact that way. But now you're getting a 1st round next year. That's why you can afford to do that. You understand? Now you're planning for next year. You get 2 picks in the 1st round, probably a high one with the Browns, and hopefully a low one with us. That means we did really well. So we'll have to see what happens. But I do think that we have to really look into an offensive guard, and Will Hernandez would be the primary guy, in my opinion, as a best all-around guard. As a versatile guard, you want Isaiah Wynn who can play guard and tackle. But I don't like to have Isaiah Wynn as our backup to Tyron Smith. We need a veteran tackle. Left tackle, and I think, like I said, Pasteur from Atlanta, Fleming from the Patriots, and Tobin, who's probably the best but probably the most expensive out of Seattle. Probably the guys you want to look at for experience, with some experience, especially with great teams, and I'm referring to Fleming with the Patriots. I'm referring, when you look at the Seahawks, okay, with Tobin, and he was also on the Eagles. He's been, he's a solid guy, but you got to pay for him. So you're looking at Tyron Smith's contract is $17 million. Well, you add another 3 on there for one of these guys. His contract is basically $20 million for Tyron Smith.
So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and go through some of our final shout-outs on that. But Cowboys Abroad said Kayvon Frazier is going to be our safety. Again, Kayvon Frazier has definitely stepped up. He's done a pretty good job. Let's see what happens, guys.
I like Deshaun Elliott out there for the draft in the 3rd round. I like, 2nd round, I would love to get Isaiah Wynn. Like if he could fall that far for a guard. And I would love to get like a Roquan Smith or Vita Vea in the 1st round, or Derwin James. Or if we trade down, get a Maurice Hurst, and then get like a line like an Isaiah Wynn with the 33rd. I don't know, something like that. We can do something like that. I would be totally in for that. And getting some value for your picks, getting a pick for next year would be a great idea. Doing a lot of different things. I think that would be a fantastic idea.
Playing smart and looking at the future as well. Andrew DeCall.
We have to use trading and free agency. We have to use that.
Now, Andrew DeCall, that's one of the things that's starting to turn me off a little bit from Daron Payne. He said that Daron Payne's overrated. He plays when he wants to play. I don't like guys like that. I need guys whose motor runs hot. And then Cowboys Abroad said that Kayvon Frazier is starting to powder keg and play well. And the star is not that big. It only holds about 12,000. So, yeah, that's what I imagine that, for the draft, you really want the stadium because and you're going to have a lot of people there. You want a lot of people there. And, again, more people, more money, right? Yeah. So, Cowboys Abroad, Andrew DeCall, Cowboys X Factor, Mr. Wright, Buddy Johnson, Cesar Duarte, Andrew DeCall, Fred Woods, 5th Quarter Cowboys, DJ Crown J, guys, go sub up. Kevin Bilbo, thank you for joining us here as well. Give me a second. Cowboy fan Marquise, Shallow Hal in the house as well. Stronger King 23, El Chapo Paco. T, thank you for being here. Ooh.
We all might not always agree, guys, but it's good to get the ideas out there.
Yeah, Buddy Johnson, if I didn't already mention, that's as far back as it lets me go, guys. So thank you so much for everyone who's joined us here. Again, guys, can't leave without making sure to hit like on the stream. That's one of the best ways you guys can help out the stream in this channel. Subscribing as well, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when we go live. We're going to bring you guys not just Cowboy daily updates as always, general NFL news. Again, guys, some of this stuff, again, affects the Cowboys, and you never know. And on top of that, guys, just other things as well. We're going to be doing hopefully some Olympic coverage, some basketball stuff.
We got
some great stuff during the off season, but number one, Cowboys and football here always, guys. So, never forget as well, if you do help support the channel, you can get one of these wristbands for $10 or more. And then Cowboys Abroad, no, don't forget, we had to throw up the X for DJ Crown J. He dropped $10 because he wanted to make his point about Dez, because he says he wants to keep Dez. Dez isn't going anywhere. Dez is number one. And again, I want Dez to be number one. I want Dez to be all these things. Just stay healthy, Dez. Catch the ball and Dak aim the ball. Yeah.
And coaches make the right play call.
Exactly. So it's all these things, guys. I'm excited. I'm hopeful for the future of the Cowboys. And I think that we have enough draft picks, and the draft is at the start. At the stadium.
But you know what my Cowboys family is doing? Because we said this before, we are not buying Jerry Jones' product because of, not the star. We've got 10 years of gear we can wear.
Jerry Jones himself. And thanks for dropping the link. Yeah. DJ, guys, go sub up
to DJ Crown J's 5th Quarter Cowboys channel, guys, right now. And, guys, so if you want to not spend money with Jerry Jones and you want to still represent the Cowboys this year, boom, guys, my Cowboys family with the star, MCF. Make it simple and plain, guys. That's the way we like it. And we just want to get to the point. So there you go. My Cowboys family right there for you guys. Make sure you try to...
there we go. Wait, wrong hand.
You can't really miss it. It's in the middle of the screen.
I know.
But sorry, guys. And when Eagle fans talk about, oh, we got a ring, you guys suck, you get 22 years. I know it. But listen, officially, and they say, oh, your 5 rings are history. Well, yeah, our five rings are history. But they have one ring, and it's history. It
already happened.
So, yeah, I mean, right now, listen, be proud, guys. We got 5 champions. We're going to get number 6 before they get number 2. That's my opinion. That's my bold prediction. Even though I'm not saying it's going to be a runaway. It's not going to be a runaway. I'm not going to say we're just going to do it, because they obviously have the team and the ability and the probability that they have a better chance to do it. It's going to be harder to round 2, trust me.
Well, we need to get to 6. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, guys. So once again, thank you to everyone here for joining us. Thank you for all the support, help, for being in the chat. Thank you again, DJ, for all the support and for the drop as well. And guys, never, ever, ever forget, number one, always here at My Cowboys family. Go
Cowboys!
Thank you. Really?
A little bit, because you were like, and
because I saw you get ready, and I'm like, oh, are we doing it now?
No, we're just doing this. I was like, yeah,
sorry, I don't know.
Cowboys forever.
You see, guys,
this has been around longer than my Eagles sock shirt, so yeah, represent Cowboys.
Well, the Eagles will suck longer than that. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining us here again. Stay safe. We'll catch you again tomorrow, and never forget, go Cowboys.
Cowboys, guys, forever. Now and forever. Stay safe, guys.